Welcome to this week's podcast. Tim Weigel, Grape and Hops IPM Specialist with the New York State IPM Program and Team Leader of the Lake Erie Regional Grape Program. And it's another snowy, cold day here, middle of February in western New York. And we are experiencing the ups and downs in temperatures that we typically see during a normal winter in New York. We unfortunately had some very cold temperatures toward the end of January, beginning of February, and there's some concern out there among growers whether or not there was any damage to the buds. One thing is, we can say, yeah, we got cold. How cold is too cold? It's going to depend on the variety of the grape. It's going to depend on what you did as far as production practices last year. If you overcropped the vines, you had a lot of powdery mildew, downy mildew, defoliating vines, you're going to weaken that vine and the buds going into the dormant season. So each vine is going to be different in susceptibility to bud hardiness to cold temperatures. So, how cold is too cold? I think that we saw a range of -1 to -14 degrees toward the end of January. If you're a Concord grower, chances are that's not going to be a problem. If you're growing some of the more sensitive wine grape varieties, vinifera, you might want to go out and do some bud cutting. So the question is, how cold did it get in my area? So if we go to NEWA, the Network for Environment and Weather Applications, newa.cornell.edu. We have 24 weather stations in the Lake Erie region now. There's weather stations across New York State, down into Pennsylvania, actually across the eastern United States. And you can go to NEWA and you can look at either the daily summary or the hourly temperature. The daily summary is going to tell you the lowest temperature that you got on that date. And so the coldest temperature we had was in Versailles over in Cattaraugus County, where it got down to 14.1 degrees on the 22nd. And not only do we need to worry about how cold it got, but also how long it was cold. So you can go to NEWA, you can go to the daily summary, see what the lowest temperature was, and then we'll go over to the hourly temperatures. We can go to that date and look at the hourly temperatures as well. So what does that mean? You had low temperatures, you think you might have had bud damage. What's the best way to tell? I can't tell you right now whether or not you had bud damage. The only way that you're going to find that out is to go out, do some bud collection, collect some shoots, bring them in, let them warm up, and then you're going to dissect the buds to see whether you got damage to your primary, secondary, or all three of the buds, and the bud is dead. So a good source of information on how to cut buds, Hans Walter Peterson over in the Finger Lakes Grape Program has come up with a couple of YouTube videos that you can take a look at and see how he cuts those buds to do an assessment. And Tim Martinson also he's the statewide extension viticulturalist for Cornell University. He has a web page where they do bud hardiness across the growing regions in New York State, and he posts that. They do it either on a weekly or bi-weekly basis for the different regions, and you can go in and see what the bud hardiness is for different selected varieties. So, check out NEWA, see how low you got, see how long it was cold, and then go out, and if you're concerned, go out, collect some buds, and do some dissections. If you have any questions, you can always give us a call here at the lab.